What God cannot do. My name is Babatunde and I came from Zaria. I'm a military officer. The devil is a bastard. I say again, the devil is a bastard. I had a Muslim background, and when I was still growing up, the Lord arrested me and I found myself in the kingdom. I continued this way until I joined the military. I got married. I have lived a very fervent life. 12 years after, I started having problem with my spiritual life. And before I knew it, everything crumbled. And I suffered this for good 10 years. The devil was able to hold himself captive, not me, for 10 good years. In the course of these 10 years, I almost lost my life. His plan was to claim my life in the process. While I was at the battlefield, I escaped death. I had gunshot wounds on my both legs. But God blessed me with this woman, a lovable woman, my partner, my helpmate, my mother, my sister, my friend. She has always been on her knees. And she said one thing. She said, babe, if God has not given up on you, then I will not give up on you. She continued praying. And as God will have it, in 2022, I had a spine surgery. I was admitted at 44 Reference Hospital. That was on the 1st of June, the surgery was conducted. Then, in the month of October, same year, my classmates, well, 4 of them, they came to see me at the hospital. Then one of them came with his wife. The wife, when she was about going, she said, Oga, there is a link I'll give you. Just key into that link. And I'm sure Daddy will mention your case. I never understood what she was talking about. I collected it. She sent the link to me. For some time, I didn't open the link. Then in the month of November, I opened the link towards the middle of November. I opened it for like 2 times. I looked out. Then towards the end of November, the Spirit kept pounding me. Open that link. And I opened the link towards the end of November. Before I knew it, first day, second day, third day, before I realized it, I became glued to the link. To the extent in the hospital, they knew it. Once it's 7 a.m., you don't open my door. I will not open it until I finish with the altar. Then, so in December, I traveled to Owerri to see my family. Then I came back in January. When I came back in January, the fasting had begun. I started the fasting, 2023. Day 1, day 2. I will follow the prayers in the evening, follow the altar in the morning, like that. On this day, the 21st day of the fast, today being the 21st of the fast, is my anniversary. And I was somewhere at that corner, and Papa was saying, the person that started this prayer is not the one finishing it.
Do you know that the man that started this prayer is not the man that has ended it right now? Raise your voice and give the Lord a loud shout.
And I felt something lifted off me, boom, that day. And before I knew it, I started firing different tongues. And before I knew it, I became a changed person. I felt very light. When I left the service that evening, I called my wife. When she said hello, I started firing tongues. My wife was just crying. She said, God, thank you. God, thank you. I told her, I said, Mama, God has done it again. I am liberated. Because it was like a spell. I didn't know where it came from. That wasn't me. And before I knew it, I became a changed person. I told her, take out the wine in the fridge. Celebrate with the children. Pour the wine. I said, because it's a rebirth. And the Spirit told me, celebrate yourself because the angels are celebrating you. And that was how I got home. I opened my own wine and I celebrated myself. Why do I celebrate me in Owerri and the angels are celebrating me in heaven? It didn't stop there. After that prayers, after the fasting in that January, I went back to the hospital because I was not yet discharged. While in the hospital, around May or thereabout, there was a time the governor was saying they should demolish some buildings. And one of the nurses taking care of me, she has a building in that area with her husband. And my wife had come to Kaduna that time. She now said, Mama, they are breaking down the houses. And they've destroyed about 5 houses before our own. So it's just about 1 more before our own. And the Spirit said, prophesy. Initially, I was scared. What if I say it and it didn't happen? The Spirit said, open your mouth, prophesy. Then I collected the phone. I said, I step into the shoe of my father in the Lord. And I mentioned Papa's name. And I said, I connect into his calling. They will not touch your house. That was the pronouncement I made. I made that prophetic declaration. And I lied on my bed, I faced the wall. I continued sleeping. She called back again. They brought her the next house before her own. It's just her own remaining now. I told my wife, tell her the exemption has taken care of it. That she has been exempted. Before you know it later, she called back and said, Mama, they've jumped my house. That is her building. Standing. Along that line, they finished the building before our own. They skipped our own and continued with the next ones again. The devil is a bastard. This is what the devil saw in me. I decided to rubbish himself. And God has brought me back to the altar. My wife normally makes one statement. She said, have you seen where this mesuya, they put nama on the fire? Have you seen fly perching on it? I said, no. He said, you can't be on the altar and the devil will mess around with you. I offered myself as a living sacrifice on the altar of fire, and I remain God's own, never to go back again, because he has connected me and I remain in him forever. What God cannot do, thank you, Jesus.